Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am Joshua Dickey. I am going to be reading from my book, A Patriot's Journey Forging Hope. I'd like to start off with a quote, like I've been doing for the past couple of days now. It's inspirational. And this is a pretty interesting one. It says, "Sometimes it takes an overwhelming breakdown to have an undeniable breakthrough." That's just crazy that to think something positive could come through what most would view as negative, because most people would say, hey, if I break down or have a breakdown, then that's a negative thing. Well, I'm here to tell you it's not. Sometimes you need to flush things away, to flush things out, to get that clarity and that peace of mind. So if it means coming from having a good cry, a breakdown, they didn't say having a temper tantrum and breaking stuff. They just said having a breakdown. And that could be an emotional one, which means, you're, emotionally in distress. So you're now thinking about why you're there, what got you there. And with that, now all of a sudden comes some clarity. And you're going to think about how you don't want to feel that way again and what happened and why you got there the first time. So, with that, the first poem is actually called Get Prepared. And it says, "Out of nowhere, I leave a firefight, but realize I'm awake. I am thinking this cannot be real, it must be fake. Light keeps playing constantly with no end in sight. It even part of my dream, which is a fight. I wonder who else has these problems, or is it just me? I wish for confidence arrogant to question everything to see. I've lost control and nothing left to live for. Now isolating my life is a big bore. I blame God for my tormented soul. I told my wife there was a giant hole. Point man helped me renew my faith in God. I could be a caterpillar and being during a pod. My changes are slow and not meant to be rushed. God has promised our enemies they will be crushed. I cannot be half in and half out. I need to be fully invested without a doubt. Remember, when you lose, things are too heavy. Say a prayer so you can always be at the ready." Okay, so there's only really one way to be prepared in this world. And being that I am religious, it'd be a spiritual cleanse. It would be, just try to get your life in order and both mentally and spiritually, I guess. So basically a way of cleaning house. Because when you have things that you keep from others, it creates a weight on you. And the longer you have it on you, the heavier this weight gets. And it just keeps getting heavier and heavier and heavier. And you just wonder, oh man, how am I ever going to get relieved of this stress, this torment, this pressure you have constantly? And the only way you really can do it is by telling somebody. You can't keep it to yourself anymore. You can't live under that stress, under that burden, under that yoke. You really need to start finding help in any and every avenue possible. Am I saying God's the answer? God's not for everybody. So if you don't think is right, then hey, find something else to look up to or look for help, or something else to that higher power, that better calling. Especially if there has to be more than this life. Something made you, something got you here, something created something. So I recommend you just invest in that. Anything, and relieve your stress, relieve that burden. Tell somebody you really can trust what your issue is. A lot of times people, especially veterans, that have been to combat, realize that fighting age males are between the ages of 12 and 17. And it's, it's a fact of life that it's a kill or be killed situation all the time. And are the kids forced into it? Sure, a lot of times they're brainwashed, and but that's here nor there. Somebody's trying to take your life, and you want to go home and see your family, so you're going to do all that you can to make sure you get there. And yeah, it's sad. It's tragic that these types of things happen, and how people can manipulate other people into basically fighting their battles for them. People that don't want anything to do with it are, hey, you better go do something, or we're just going to come down here and kill your whole family. And, that's how the Taliban operates. And so people that wouldn't normally do something are now engaging people they shouldn't. But it's those kind of burdens that you can't let weigh you down. Things you did are an act of war. It wasn't personal. You weren't just looking out for a kid. So just remember that. It happens. Tragic, yes. But don't let it be a showstopper in the rest of your life because of that incident. Or incidences in some cases. You just gonna have to ride it out, man, and just realize that it was what it was. And just think about how the Vietnam vets felt. The kids were the same way, popping up out of little rice paddies, and they had to do what they had to do too. So I just ask you, just don't let it eat at you. Talk to somebody, relieve that burden, that stress from your neck, and start to heal. Because people want you back to the way you were, or you can't get back to the way you were, but better than you are now. Because it's like Denzel Washington says in Remember the Titans, it's progress, not perfection. So we're always striving to do better. So just keep trying. Next one is people join the military for many different reasons. And, I've asked people why they joined, and people told me some of the funniest things, and so I just kind of went through and I made a poem over some of these reasons, and I'll read them to you now. So the poem's called "Joined." Some people join the military for the thrill. There's others because they want a chance to kill. Others just want their education paid, and some I know just want a better chance of getting laid. A few just join just because it's so, and there are some that had nowhere else to go. A friend of mine joined for family pride, and there are even some that join just to hide. Somewhere looking for a new kind of family team. For many, this was a childhood dream. I know so much joy to prove their worth. Some people's blame the joint right at birth. Some join because they are defenders. A few slip through the cracks and are huge pretenders. Regardless of why you join the fight, it doesn't matter if you think it's wrong or right. When you put that uniform on, you give all. You stand with pride, you stand tall. And in the back of your mind, all gave some, and some gave all. So as you can see, there's several ways why people joined, several reasons why people joined. Could be family, could be friends, could be, maybe the judge said, get out of my town, so they take you to MEPS, and now you're in the military. Some just, turn 18 and the parents say, get out of my house. And you have nowhere else to turn, and, so you just enlist in the military. Or some just feel like, hey, I got to try to find a future and make a future myself, so they decide that the military is their best option. But whatever the case is, whatever the reason why you joined, the fact of the matter is this: you put the uniform on, which means you made the commitment to go against all enemies, foreign and domestic. You're willing to put your life on the line for this country. I don't care if you're a guard, reserve, active duty. It doesn't matter. You put that uniform on, and it's a sense of pride that you should have. You were willing to just, if it came down to it, you signed the dotted line to pay the ultimate sacrifice so others in this country can be free. And that is commendable. I mean, it's such a great honor, in my opinion, to be a military veteran, to say that you were willing to do what it takes to keep America free. And that just fills me with pride. I mean, what other country does that? That's just puts so much pride in their country, in their flag, in their way of life. I mean, all these countries want to be like us for a reason. All the freedoms that we have. And it's just an amazing thing. And I am proud of my military service. I hope everybody that's listening is proud of theirs. Once again, I don't care if you're a guard. I don't care if you're a reserve. It doesn't matter. You're still a veteran. And, you deserve whatever the veterans get. And if you happen to get activated on active duty and you got deployed and now you're messed up mentally, you deserve to get fixed and get better. And, I'm hoping that you can hear this video and realize that, hey, baby steps. Go to the VA and find help. You're stronger. People that ask for help are stronger people. And I used to not think so. I used to just think it was just weakness all around. Only weak people can do it. Get PTSD. Only weak people go through all these other things. And I've realized that is just a lie I told myself. And it's a lie everybody tells. It's just a facade. It's just to make people think, I guess, they're cooler than they are or something. Because you have a traumatic experience does not make you weak at all. So don't ever think it does. People could say it does. All right, cool, man. Cool story, bro. I don't really care. They can think of whatever they want to. I just care about you guys, and I care about you guys getting back to, or at least as close back to normal as you guys can get. And I want to see you guys get there. I want you guys, if you guys have questions, to shoot me an email at forginghopepoetry@gmail.com. I'll try to help you out. Also, if you have anything you want to talk about, because I'm getting close to the end of this book, so I'm going to be looking for topics to talk about. I'm going to be releasing my second book soon, and so I'll be starting to read that coming up. But, yeah, veterans mean a lot to me because I am one. And I don't want to see people suffering and not knowing how to do something. Ignorance isn't bliss. Ignorance is ignorance. And if I can help you get on the right path and point you down the right direction, then I'm going to do that. So, hey, if you guys need me, I am here for you. So once again, sometimes it takes an overwhelming breakdown to have an undeniable breakthrough. Remember that. Just give a breakdown doesn't mean it's bad. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the support. And I will see you guys tomorrow.